Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your storyteller, ready to take you on amazing journeys through different tales. How are you guys? Today's topic is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Let's get started. When I look back on the summer of 1935, it's hard not to think about how much the world had changed for me and for the people of Maycomb, Alabama. I was just 6 years old then, a little girl with a lot of questions and a big brother named Jem who was always there to watch over me. Our father, Atticus Finch, was a man of strong morals and quiet dignity, and it was his work that would soon make our lives far more complicated. It all started when Atticus was assigned to defend Tomrobinson, a black man accused of raping Mayla Ewell, a white woman. The trial was the talk of the town, and even though I was just a child, I couldn't ignore the whispers and the anger that seemed to seep from every corner of our small town. People were cruel and unfair, but Atticus stood firm in his belief that everyone deserved justice, no matter the color of their skin. My brother Jem and I were both curious about the trial, and we often found ourselves standing on the sidelines, trying to make sense of the adult world that seemed so confusing and unjust. Our adventures in town were often interrupted by the grim realities of the case and the prejudices that ran deep in our community. We learned a lot about human nature, often from the most unexpected places. Booradley, the reclusive neighbor who never seemed to leave his house, was a constant source of fascination and fear for us. We spent countless hours trying to draw him out, convinced that he was some kind of monster. But as the trial progressed, we began to see Boo not as a phantom, but as a person who, like us, was caught in the web of Maycomb's social dynamics. Atticus's defense of Tomrobinson revealed the ugly underbelly of our town's racism. Despite his best efforts, the jury convicted Tom, a decision that seemed both inevitable and heartbreaking. We watched as the man who had been so kind and brave was sentenced to death, not for his supposed crime, but for the color of his skin. In the midst of this turmoil, my understanding of the world shifted. I saw how deeply people could be hurt by prejudice, and how courage wasn't always about grand gestures, but often about standing up for what was right, even when it meant standing alone. My father's quiet strength and his insistence on seeing the good in people, even when it was obscured by their actions, taught me lessons that I would carry with me for the rest of my life. Our family faced its own trials too. The people of Maycomb, stirred up by the trial's outcome, turned their anger on us. We were spat upon, insulted, and shunned, but through it all, Atticus remained steadfast, never compromising his principles. Jem and I learned from him that dignity and respect come from doing what's right, even when it's hard. The story came to a close with the realization that Booradley was not the monster we had imagined, but a kind and protective figure who had always watched over us. When he saved us from the attack by Bob Ewell, the father of Mayla Ewell, it was a final, unexpected act of kindness from someone who had been a ghost in our lives. I saw that Boo was a reflection of the goodness that can exist in people, even when they are hidden away. As I grew up, the lessons from that summer remained with me. I understood that people are often more complex than they appear, and that sometimes the most profound truths are hidden in plain sight. Maycomb had its share of flaws, but it was also a place where people could change, where goodness could emerge from the most unexpected places, and where the courage of one person could make a difference. Looking back, I see that the summer of 1935 was a turning point for me, a time when I learned about the harsh realities of life and the enduring power of compassion. It was a lesson that I would carry with me, one that would shape my understanding of the world and my place in it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the Sonic Library for more audiobooks. I hope this story left you with something to think about. Stay tuned for more new videos.